Right, good morning all friends. Welcome to this session where we are going to talk a little bit about negotiation. How many of you like to negotiate? Anyone?
Me.
Yes? Good. And how many of you like to avoid negotiation? Yes, Dr. Jyoti, for you, you try to avoid that. Fine. Let's see if you can avoid or no. And second thing, after this session, maybe you will think that yeah, it's better to negotiate because you will probably see the tools and techniques and maybe you can also get some results sometime. So let's look at this particular book from Mr. Herb Cohen. You can negotiate anything. And I'm going to present this one here today in the next couple of hours. What is negotiation? That's very simple. Negotiation is nothing but to gain a favor from the people which helps you the way you want it. Things done your way, what you like. That is what is the idea of negotiation. That is what exactly what the negotiation is. And whether you like it or no, you always are negotiating. I mean, as simple as that. A child, when it cries for the milk, it is his technique of negotiation. This world, anything and everything, every moment, you are doing some kind of negotiation, knowingly, unknowingly. You are trying to find your favorable situation the way you want it. And that's what it is talked about. It's a real world, whether you like it or not, you are always negotiating. Every moment. It doesn't mean every time, bargaining with this cash and this money, 40 rupiah, 50 rupiah, not that way. Any and every situation, any and every moment which you are trying to move in your favor, for your comfort, or the comfort for others, but you want it that way, that's what is negotiation all about. And, it's a very simple thing. A child, as I said, negotiates with the parents, मुझे movie देखने जाना है, give me, $500 for the pocket money today. It's nothing but a negotiation. And the mother says, 500, why you want 500? Take 200. It's maybe a kind of negotiation. And child also knows it. He knows if I want 200, I'll ask for 500. It's all learned over the period of time, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously. So negotiation is happening everywhere. You are part of it every moment, whether you like it or no. And then when you are saying negotiation is there, does it mean everything can be negotiated? Well, almost everything. There are certain things, like maybe your mother's love is something non-negotiable. Something which the God has given, the sunlight, the rains. This is something which you cannot negotiate. But rest of the things which are created in the transactions which are happening within the world are negotiable. Everything, practically everything can be negotiated. And we will see it now, how and why. There are techniques where you can work this out, make it possible. The extent of the benefit that you get may or may not be the way you want it, desire it. It may be slightly, sometimes less, sometimes it will be full. But it's possible to negotiate. And why not? If it's for the benefit of yours and others, why not? So you can and always make an effort to negotiate. The only golden rule is never go for a negotiation half-heartedly. Don't ever think that, okay, if it works, it's fine for me. If it doesn't work, it's okay. No, then you will not succeed. Never make an attempt of negotiating half-heartedly. Go with full confidence, with full conviction. I want this and I will get it. And that confidence will empower you to go and negotiate in the right way without hurting anyone. I mean, we will have other techniques also where you can actually win at all costs. There is one possibility. There are some kind of negotiation. We'll look at it later. But what we can do is that if we go with half-hearted attempts, we will probably not succeed. And as you see on this screen, it says that there was a job that could not be done. Everybody was trying to tell me. I tried to attempt it, and then I came back without completing the job because it was in my brain. People had already said it cannot be done, and that's why I tried it. But I was convinced it cannot be done. Nobody has done it. If I also don't do it, it's okay. If that is the approach, if that is the attitude which you will strike, you will not succeed in negotiating. So, as a negotiator, there are certain tricks which are essential for you to go into it. Certain, positions, certain situations that you need to take control of. One, take some risks. You should be ready to take a risk. Okay, I am going for this negotiation. If it doesn't work my way, what? Why? Am I ready to accept it? It's okay. No, sometimes take an example, very simple. You go to the market, ask ye bhendi kaise diya, and he says 80 rupees kilo, 80 rupees kg. Say no, it's too much. Start walking away. He will hear, okay, madam, take 50 rupees. Happens sometimes. So it's a risk that you are taking. You want the bhendi, but you are taking a risk that let me try and walk away. If he doesn't call me, that's gone. Okay, but that's a risk when somebody is trying to take. But take a risk. You should be able to take some risks. And you should know where to take risk. I mean, it should be a calculated risk. Sometimes, there are past experiences that yeah, aisa hi hoga. It will not go beyond this. This is the way it works. Try to break free from that. Don't carry your previous experiences as a block. Try and keep your chain, with that. Just try and break free, and then maybe you will be able to more succeed. Challenge your assumptions is one of the other requirements. Certain assumptions are there at the back of the mind, which says that this is always like this. Why? Because I know it. I assume it is like this. No, but that would be not true all the time. Challenge your assumptions. Don't always say that I cannot negotiate with certain authority, or I cannot negotiate with some people who have some kind of power. No. Try and make a genuine attempt. Get away from your assumptions. Otherwise, it could probably be the blockage for you. Raise your own aspiration levels. Increase your own aspiration levels. Be more positive and more, confident when you go for the negotiation. That will help you in getting what you want, getting the results in your favor. And then increase your expectations. Expect something big. Don't say that, okay, I have got 5% discount is okay for me. Start for 25%. Why not? Ask for 25% discount. Maybe you will get. Maybe if not 25, you will get something like 20. But don't start with your expectation of, okay, 5% discount is okay for me. I will still save a few thousand rupees. Raise your expectations. And when you are doing with that, then it's possible probably to succeed more. There is one big question, that somebody needs to ask at this point in time, whether to negotiate or no. In a given situation, that depends on the circumstances. Whether the benefit that you will get out of the negotiation is worth it. Worth what? Worth your time, worth your efforts, worth all the energy that you are going to spend. Is that going to be worth that benefit? If it is not, maybe then you will leave it. You say better not to negotiate today. Let it go on. Maybe I will utilize this energy sometime later, some other purpose. That is how you can decide. So it depends whether I am comfortable today negotiating. That's also another situation. Whether this audience or this person who is in front of me, should I really negotiate with him or no? Or I leave it to my team members. There could be some other people say, leave it to them. I'm talking about office setup. If it is your personal setup, you will decide, okay, why to negotiate with my kamwali bhai? 200 का ज़्यादा मांग रही है, दे दो. Is it worth for me to negotiate with her 200 rupees? छोड़ दो, leave it. So it depends on whether you are comfortable, whether you get the benefits more than the energy which you put into it, and will this negotiation meet my needs? I have seen so many people who negotiate just for the sake of negotiation. In the sense that it's just to satisfy your own, self ego. Okay, मैंने negotiate करवाया, मैंने इतना discount लिया या मैंने इतना खर्चा किया या मैंने इतना बचाया. I mean, this is just to satisfy the own personal beliefs. As we said, everything can be negotiated. They think that every time it should be negotiated. And that's how they go and do this and then they get, okay, I got this 5% You have to decide whether is it really essential at this point in time. If no, leave it. Use your energy, your time, efforts for something which is better benefits which will be coming in. Only you can answer whether you want to negotiate now or no. It's only for you to decide. If you answer these 3 questions on the screen, that will give you a immediate answer whether I should negotiate today or leave it and move on to next. Now, if you talk about negotiations, there are 3 powerful elements. They are not independent of each other. They are highly interrelated. And these 3 powerful elements are the power. The power of negotiation that you carry. Time that you are able to invest, time you have with your hand to do this negotiation process, and third, more important thing is the information. So 3 major elements, and remember they are not independent of each other, they are all highly interrelated. We'll deep dive into this now and see how it can be utilized to our benefit. Power. Now, what is power? Any question? Anybody would like to say what is power? And we are not talking about physical power to fight. Anything else? Power?
So basically, the person is on influential platform. He is more influential than the other guy.
Okay, right, perfect. Yes.
Force in terms of actually kinetic force.
A force.
Yeah.
Kinetic force, okay. I mean that's typical scientific definition of power. Okay,
yes,
okay. It's science, physics. What you're talking about is physics.
Yes.
Pradeep, you have to say what is power for you?
Power. What position he is?
Position.
What position he is. What we be.
Okay. Fine. I mean definition of power is all of you said is right to that extent in this context, and what you said is energy is in terms of the physics basically, right. But when you talk about the power, let us also look at a definition which is something similar to that of management. Power is the capacity to influence or get the things done in a given situation the way you want it. I mean that's as simple as power. Management also says that what is management? Management is ability to get things done. So power is a kind of management technique. One of the management techniques to get the things done the way you want it. Power can be used rightly or wrongly. Underworld also has power, but it is for the wrong purpose. Terrorists have power, wrong purpose. The police has the power, right purpose. The purpose is important. Power itself is neither good nor bad. Power is neither good nor bad. Power is not moral or immoral. Power is not ethical or unethical. The application of the power, the use of the power decides whether it is right or wrong. So power is neutral. The way you use it, the application of the power is the one which decides the outcome. And as the outcome is good or bad, then you try to reflect whether the power was right or wrong. No, power is always neutral. The way it is used, the people who use it or misuse it decides whether it is right or wrong. Power is inappropriate only and only if it is done for wrong purpose. Like manipulative power. Somebody tries to manipulate somebody and get the things done. Or dominating or coercive. Somebody is forcing someone. Then that is a wrong use of the power. Otherwise, power is good. As long as your goal is correct, your intentions are correct, the power is right to be used. And that's what we are going to look into it, focus into it. The most important sentence is, power. Do you have the power today? Dr. Advati, you would say you have a power?
Yeah.
Yes? Sir,
Yeah,
you have power? So power is nothing but it's a perception. If you think I have the power, I have it. If I think I don't have the power, I don't have it. Even if I have, if I think I don't have it, it's gone. So it's nothing but a perception. It is here. The power is here. It's not necessarily all the time on the badges or the titles that you are carrying with your visiting card on the table or the nameplate outside your cabin. No, power is here. It's your perception. And you will see there are some power methodologies how it can be used. No, there are certain sources of power. Where do you derive your sources of power? And the list on the screen shows about 13-14 sources. We will probably not go into the deep diving of all of this because otherwise it will take the whole day session. But we will just see one or two small sentences on this, each of this very shortly. The power of competition. Now what does it mean? Let's talk about a business scenario when you are going to strike a deal. What you will do is that you will try to bring what the competition is doing around. You will try to understand that and try to show it to the person, the party with which you are negotiating. And that probably will bring you favorable results. There is a power of legitimacy. What you are doing is legitimate. If you can show it, you can bring it up on the table, the other person will respect it. And then he will try to agree to your methodology or what you are asking for. The power of risk taking. We started with a small example in the beginning. You should be able to take a risk, knowing what is my limit, what is my cutoff, what is my walk away from this negotiation table. With that, you can take risk, and that can be both the sides. I mean, it's not just for you; it's also for the other side. Let's say we're talking about since we're all talking about the business scenarios here, we'll try to focus on that. From a corporate business point of view. There's a supplier and there's a buyer. And we're talking about the supplier says, okay sir, this is my giveaway price, take it or leave it. He's taking a risk. He also wants to sell. But he's taking a risk. He's saying that sir, take it or leave it. Now if you leave it, he is at loss. He also knows he's at loss, but he's taking a risk. Similarly, you can also say, okay, this is my budget. If you bid within this budget, I will sign the dotted line, give you a check right now, advance payment. If no, sorry. It's your choice. Taking a risk. Both of the parties are actually interested in closing the deal. Please understand. None of them is just trying to be there for a time pass. Both of them have their own interests, targets, essential requirements, needs. But it's a risk. And you know where to take risk, where to draw your line. The power of commitment. If you can commit something, and convince it to the next person, yes, it is acceptable. The power of expertise. I mean, you go to, an engineer and he says, sir, okay, this work is to be done, I'll give you this much. And then there's another one who says, sorry sir, my charges are so much higher. Why? Because I'm an expert. And he will do it. I mean, you can also verify his expertise. It happens so many times. Management gurus, consultants, so many of the people who has a couple of million followers. We saw recently on YouTube some influencers. He has his power because he is expert. There are many people like this who are expert. Based on the expertization, you can ask for your position, the price, or the other facilities that you want for. If you are expertise, please leverage it during the negotiation. The knowledge of needs, very important. If I know what exactly you need, then I can negotiate better. If I don't know your needs, or if for that matter, if I don't know my own needs, it's another issue. There are things like, needs, expectations, features, wants. What is basis? Needs. If I am clear about my needs, and if those needs are getting met, then I know very clearly, okay, it's fine. So, knowing needs is essential. The power of investment. Investment in terms of everything, the money, the time, energy, effort that you are willing to invest. And the other party is going to invest. If you know that, you can leverage that. The power of rewarding or punishing. As simple as that. If you help me with this, I will reward you. I can reward you this way. I can benefit you in this way. Or, if you do not help me this, you will have to face the consequences. and it could be X, Y, Z. I mean, the moment you expect to do that, it could be able to convert into it's a favorable situation for you. You can get what you are looking for, as long as you know how you can play around with your rewarding and punishing power that you are having with yourself. It could be also used by the third party. I mean, the party who is sitting with you, negotiator, is also expert in negotiation. He is also undergone this kind of training programs. Please don't be under the impression that I am the expert. No, he is also a negotiator. He also knows these techniques. But it's up to us how we are slightly better than the other. The power of identification, exactly knowing what I want, what I not want. The power of morality. There are certain things which is moral, certain things which are immoral. I may have power, but I am using it in the wrong way, then it is not right. If I am trying to coerce somebody, hijack somebody, or try to give him blackmailing, emotional blackmailing, it's not right. So that's the power of morality when you can bring it up on the table. The power of precedence. Sometimes people say, "Yeah, sir, ऐसा ही होता है. This has happened like this. I can give you only this much money. You have been supplying to us so many years. This is how it is." Or there could be some other examples. Okay, with this supplies you have to give this free. This is precedent. It has been happening for last years. Let's do it this way. So not negotiation on this. I mean, it will be accepted if you are able to bring out those examples. Persistence and persuasive capacity. Sometimes you don't get what you want in the one instance, one discussion. You have to keep on going there persistent. Keep on persuading. I know a very good example of one of my friends in the very early beginning of his career. He was going to someone who has informed him that he is a gentleman who works with Voltas. Go and get him, maybe he will give you a job. So, he was a fresh engineer going around. He tried a couple of things, nothing was working out. So he went to him. And he said, no, I don't have anything, you come next week. Again, the next week went. He said, so Savaj nahi milenge, uske PA said, he's not available, come next week. So he kept on going 3 or 4 times. And the 4th time he went and met him, so this gentleman who was working with Voltas, he said, okay, sit here. He called his assistant and told him, यार हमारा वो कांदीवली बोरीवली का एरिया है ना, the area of कांदीवली बोरीवली, give service dealership to him. Now he went for a job. He got a service dealership. And it was a shock for him, but he accepted it. And today, 20-25 years later, he is a big man, being expanded in a lot of other things. The point I trying to bring out is that persistence. He kept on going there every week without failing, and he got a benefit out of that. And the last important thing is the power of attitude. If you have right attitude, positive attitude, with the right moral belongings in your heart, then you can get power out of that, and that's something which can be utilized in your favor. The second element is time. Time is always moving on, never stops for anyone. So what you need to make best use of time is essential here. And when you do a negotiation, please remember it's not an event. Negotiation is a complete process. It doesn't happen today, okay, sir, tomorrow afternoon 7:30 we will meet for negotiation and finalize. Okay, that is one of the points in the whole time. But the negotiation has started few weeks or few days ago. When you know this is a requirement, you have worked this out, you have given the offer, you have seen his requirements, some exchanges, some emails, and a lot of other things. It's a process. If you just leave the business scenario, even in the life, when you are talking with your neighbors or people who are around with you, friends and all, you know him, you know the way they have been behaving, you know their past working, you know about this thing. It's a complete process, and that's what you will reach to an age of negotiation. It's not just one moment, okay, take it or leave it. It's not a toss. The more important thing about time is deadline. People say this is the deadline. We want to close it. We want to agree on this. Now deadlines are there and they should be respected. But please remember there is a deadline which is on the table. There is a deadline which is not on the table, the real deadline. And please know everything, this kind of deadlines are always flexible. I take example, of my earlier times when I used to go and, sell out certain things for our customers. They will say, okay, come, Mr. Devani, come and sit here, have a coffee, tea, and, I'll be sitting. And then the boss goes away and he's busy and busy and busy. The whole day is gone. Morning delivering. And then late in the evening, 7:30, he'll come and okay, let's close this out in 5 minutes. You are tired. You have been sitting outside there for the whole day without lunch, just on a cup of glass or a coffee. And that's the time when he wants to influence you. You are tired, you want to go and take a rest, or you want to go back to your head office. Next day morning is your flight. Or next day or same night you are taking a train going back. You are tired, you want to cut off and go to the station. That's the time we will use. So time has its importance, it can be leveraged. I started learning about it. So next time when I used to start to go there, they will ask, okay sir, when are you going back? What's your flight? "No, I am not going back. I have come without return ticket. That's my answer. I am here to agree. Once we agree, then I will. Now that makes me powerful because I have now shown to them, though I may have a ticket with me, but I have shown that time is not a limit for me. So one of his tool is now of no use. This is something which can be used. So deadlines are there and then deadlines which are not on the table. But at the same time you need to know that as well. Otherwise, it will be an endless thing and it will be endless futile efforts. Never reveal your own real deadline. I mean, you also have targets. For example, if you are a salesman, you have target. Month end में मुझे इतना amount लेना है. Year end में, quarter end में. But don't ever disclose this. Otherwise, it will become, a difficult situation for you. Never follow, deadline blindly given by the other party. The benefits may not be right. They also have deadline. And you also need to know that, okay, they also want to close this on this date. Otherwise, it will become loss for him. So, if you know that deadlines, it can be utilized at your advantage. People may not change, many times, but the situations will change. So, today, for example, you have gone for a discussion, it did not result into a, agreement. It's fine, okay. But maybe a time will come, few days later or few weeks later, when situations might change, and as a result, you will get favorable thing what you wanted. So never give a hope away. Please maintain your hope. The last element of this is information. The more you know, better you are, stronger you are. Information about yourself, your own things, information about the competition, information about the next party, what are his likes, dislikes, what are his requirements, what are his non-negotiable things, what are things which he can live out. These are essential. The more and more information that you gather, more powerful you are. You derive your power from this information. And that is very, very, very essential. And at the same time, even if you know certain things, try not to show everything. Try to be confused. Try to show as if you don't know. Ask questions and you will get more answers. And from those answers, you will know what is the real requirement of the other party. What is it that is non-negotiable for them? What is it their budgets are? What is it their deadlines are? Try and ask the questions. The fools, like a fool, you can be acting like a fool, though you may be knowing a lot of things. It will also probably give you a reassurance that what you know is correct. It has not changed over the last few days or few weeks. So that will be a very, very good useful tool. I have met a salesman who used to come and say, sir, please do. This is my last thing, sir. Without this, I will be in a problem. This is my today's target, please, that. And people tend to give it out. He acts like sir, please, sir, begging, almost like a begging. But he's a very smart guy. He gets all the targets done every day, every week, every month. But it is his technique. So people have different ways of, getting the information and doing the things out. gather information also from the other party's competitor. Right? If you have this party, try and understand from his competitor. I give a very simple example. I wanted to paint my house recently. I went to Asian Paints, to Nerolac, called them, understood their processes, their prices, costing. So that I know what is happening in the market, 3 or 4 different parties, and finally I agreed with Asian Paints, of course. Because that was my already preset. This is what I want to do. But I could get information from competitors, and it could be utilized to ask him questions whether you will do this process, how much time it requires for this process, uske baad mein drying, how much time it takes, how many coats, a lot of other things helps us in getting this information. So go to your competitors of the next party. Information you will not get as it is. It's not on the platter. You have to start on your own. You have to start sharing your information. Start giving out your inputs, and then somebody will from the other side also start sharing it. So it's a give and take. You have to be sensitive what information to give out and what not to give out. That's for you to decide. And just remember one more thing is that the people require time to understand and analyze the information that is on the table. To do the dissection of something has come up, a new information on the table, the judgment or decision cannot be taken on the spot. He says, okay, sorry, thank you very much for this update. I need to understand, check this out, check with my colleagues, check with my other management people and come back to you. It's okay, fine. Similarly, you also get the information, just what it looks on the table, don't take a decision based on that. Think about it, analyze it, put it in the big picture and see whether this information really adds value or no. Whether it really helps you to negotiate, give a concession or no. So that is also essential. Information, that's what we say, time, power and information, they are closely interlinked. The new information requires time to be understood, digested before you move out. And as the small sentence on the right side of your screen says, the secret of walking over the bridge is to know where the stones are. You can walk on the stones and people think you are walking on the water. But when you know the stones, it means the information that you have. There are different styles of negotiation. One of this style is Soviet style. Always win, lose. I win, you lose. Come what may. And there could be extremely different techniques used for here. They take extremely initial position. No, I want 75% discount. That's it. I will start with 75%, which is unbelievable, mind-boggling. What am I here for? 75% discount. But that's the way they started. Then they will have different things. They will use emotional tactics, shouting, making red flags, walking out of the room, call somebody else and fire him just to show that I'm in angry mode. Lot of other things. They also have sometimes limited authority, but they try to show I am the boss. I am going to decide everything. But in fact, he has very limited authority. The person who is going to decide is actually sitting in the next room. He is not even there in the negotiation table. And it has happened with me several times. I have learned over this period of time. I gave out discount, okay, 5% discount, sir. This is best what we can do, this, that, okay, sir. And then it slowly goes to his head of the factory. And he comes out and says, sir, 5% off the area. Mere diye kya? What am? What? So give another. And then it becomes 5% becomes 8%, 10%. And it happens many times. So you need to be knowing about these styles of the person who is negotiating with us. And then you can be better prepared. When you give sometimes concessions, this kind of discount or some other terms, payment terms or whatever other things, delivery times, you give discounts or other concessions, they will be considered, okay, it's okay. I mean, it's not much of use to me. I can't do it. Or if he gives something, some concessions from his initial position, it will be minuscule, very small, just to keep the discussion going. And that is all, this type of style of negotiation, Soviet style. And they don't even take care of deadlines. They are not bothered. That's the way of working for them. The other style of negotiation is nothing but, it's called consultative approach, collaborative approach, where you don't lose, I win, or I don't lose, you win, we both win. Win-win situation, There's a process where we can go through, we understand each other's real needs, real limitations, real authorization constraints if there are any, and try to find out the gap. And once you find out the gap, try to bridge it, come closer, both the sides come closer together. There could be differences initially on account of expectations or information or the role that you are all having. No, the information that you have, the other party has, maybe not correct, maybe different. Share the information. Oh, was it like this? I never knew. And then you are at a completely different level of agreement. Or the experiences that I have had with 3 or 4 people, they are so very bad that I think that everybody like them. That becomes difficult. If you have a different experience, share that across, and that can bring a collaborative approach. Emotional content should be always kept out. You should be talking about objectives, what is feasible to be discussed and agreed out. And that's where collaboration can be brought up, negotiation can be reached, where both the parties feel like I have won. Both the parties feel that yeah, it's a win-win situation. And that is based upon the trust. Trust needs to be built between the two parties. So it's for basically, mutual satisfaction. Trust needs to be built, and trust cannot be built today, tomorrow. Over a period of time, multiple interactions, multiple commitments which have been met. That's how the building of trust happens. We need to also get the commitment from the other party. When you make a commitment, you get a commitment from the other party. So again, say when you make the commitment, you have to start building the trust. You have to start giving the commitment, and then we can expect it from the other party, and that's possible. Now you always find, negotiation, there are some oppositions. There could be a different team of people, and one of them could be playing really devil's kind of role, always opposing whatever you say. Others may not be as aggressive as he is. People will think he's the boss, but it may not be the case. It could be by design. Somebody has been kept just to keep on opposing you, just to keep on countering you, and that needs to be understood by us as a stalwart in negotiation. You need to identify and understand what his real motive is. Whether he is opposing the point, the idea, or is opposing you as a person. There could be the personal biases. Person doesn't like to see your face, so he will keep on opposing whatever you do. It has happened with me also, a couple of times. I find that okay, now this person doesn't want me. I will take a colleague of mine with me. He will do the talking. But he knows what to talk because I have already told him what to talk, what not to talk, what to give, what not to give. And he talks. I keep silent and deal is done. What I wanted the deal, it has been done the way I wanted it. So it could be personal bias. We need to understand it and get that out of our today's moment so that you can get what you want. You can stay engaged for a longer time. There is opposition. Okay, fine. You stay engaged. Don't react. Keep answering, and then maybe you will be able to reach a stage where you can say, okay, now these oppositions are died down. They die down the natural death. Initial oppositions which are there, they could die down the natural death. And never judge any actions or motives of the others. You never judge. If somebody says this, he's doing this because of whatever. No, there are some impulsions. There are some information that probably he has. Some essential things which he has which you don't know. So don't judge and don't make a wrong decision based on that. This is one of the essential requirements for negotiation. Negotiation happens any place, any time, on the phone, during discussions. There are few tips on the table. We can discuss a little bit more in the detailed program. If you are calling up, always be polite. Never cut the phone when the other party is calling. You always speak, and finally you call, okay, fine, this is what we agreed, fine, it's fine, let's meet again next time, talk again next time. So you listen to that and give listening ears. Properly listen to the party who is talking on the phone, because at that time you are not able to see his facial expressions or the compulsions. When you are doing a physical discussions, whenever an agreement is reached, please ensure you write a MOM, minutes of meeting, and ideally you should initiate it. You make the draft, because then you can decide the framework, the content, and most of the time what happens is that in that content only there will be some discussion here and there. Bigger points will not be lost out. Something which is favorable to you will not be lost out. So take a initiative to make this memorandum on your own initially. If required, move higher up in the authorization there and take a decisions and make a personal rapport with the party. This is essential because at the end of the day, both the sides are humans. Whatever you say, emotions and things to be kept out, yes, but personal rapport always helps. Not only now, a decade later, if you had done some kind of interactions, the person has a good rapport with you, some good impression of you, that will help you. So that is very, very essential in any of these kind of negotiation things. That's what in short I wanted to talk today. Any questions specifically? Anything about this?
Fantastic. You summarize the whole negotiation itself.
Right.
You talked about so many different aspects.
Yeah, it was a short thing, and of course there could be different long programs for this, but I think this was a glimpse of what is essential. Maybe it helps some of the things for you to reflect upon. Any questions later on can also be asked, and we can work this out.
I have to be.
Yes.
I have to tell you one thing. As I
Yes.
said, I don't like negotiations, so I was trying to avoid reading this book. It's lying in my house for a long time.
Okay.
I wanted to read. Thanks to you, today I got the gist.
You got the gist of this, right? So now you yeah, so good, you got the benefit at least out of this session. Perfectly okay, right. Thank you very much, and I hope this was useful to all of us. And maybe any questions you can come out with it later on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks all of you.